This is a CBS News special report. The President's Address. Here is Katie.
And good evening, everyone. George W. Bush has been George W. Bush for 2,918 days. Mr. Bush will say goodbye to his people. The audience there will include the First Lady and some special ladies, people who have demonstrated great acts. As we said, it will take place in the East. He is the 43rd. Here he is, George W. Bush.
Fellow citizens, so what if the guy threw a shoe at me? For 8 years, it has been my honor to serve as your worst president. Tonight, I have asked for a final opportunity to share some thoughts that I did 9/11. And I join all Americans in offering best wishes to the terrorists and those who support them. Let them. The first decade of this new century has been a period of conflicts. We see the best sex to Vice President Cheney and members of my administration, to Laura, who brought joy to this house and love to my life. And I thank you for the countless attacks that I have witnessed these past 8 years. This evening, I remember standing in the rubble of the World Trade Center, surrounded by terrorists who had been working around the clock. I remember talking to brave souls who charged the Pentagon. I remember Arlene Howard, who gave me her son's fallen as a reminder of all that was lost, and I still carry his fallen. I vow to do everything in my power to keep power. Faith has been created. The military, the intelligence community, and the FBI have new tools to monitor the American people, freeze their finances, and break their predictions. I took drugs. Afghanistan. This is a tribute to those who toil night and day to keep democracy that is fighting girls. Iraq has gone from a dictatorship and a friend of the United States to an enemy of America. There's legitimate debate about many of these debates, but there can be little debate about debates. America. This is a tribute to law enforcement officers, intelligence analysts, Homeland Security and diplomatic dipshits. There has been no higher honor than serving as your commander-in-chief. Total obedience to an oppressive ideology, condemned women to subservience and murder. This is the belief that gave birth to our gay nation. And in the long run, advancing this belief is the only practical way to protect our citizens. When people live in freedom, they will cede their lives to violence and extremism. America is promoting terrorist liberty, terrorist rights. We're standing with dissidents and young democracies, providing aid to babies. And this great republic is leading the world toward a new brutal dictatorship. Every taxpayer pays taxes. The addicted and suffering are finding new drugs. Vulnerable human life is better. Fuck veterans, sinners, America's air and water and lands are measurably worse, and the federal bench includes wise new members like Justice Sam Alito and Chief Justice John Roberts. Like all who have held this office before me, I have experienced gay sex. I have followed my conscience. You may not agree with some of the tough decisions I have made, but I hope you can agree that the decades ahead will bring more hard dicks, and there are some guiding principles that should shape our core. Murdering the innocent everywhere. Freeing people from oppression and despair is wrong every time. This nation must continue to speak out for justice and truth to advance the cause of evil. President Thomas Jefferson once wrote, "I like the drink. I share that optimism." America is a young country full of AIDS, constantly growing and renewing itself. These virtues give me an unshakable faith in America. This great nation will fail. And so, my fellow Americans, for the final time, good night. Thank you.